And action.
Sorry, start again. I forgot to be me properly.
No.
As a wise teacher once said to me, I was listening intently. Is that okay? Once upon a time.
Once upon a time?
That turned into Grinder. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, talking about, let's step back into the harsh reality of even the motivation to fix it with a person of the lesser scope. It is worth spending time in that. If you're scared about it, it's worth, because it is the fuel that will get you to stay through the efforts, because there are beautiful moments in practice. There are magnificent, beautiful moments in practice. My personal belief, I don't think I've had anybody point me to a place in the teachings that it says this, but my personal belief is if you don't have that as your jet fuel, when the beautiful moments occur and you don't have a deep understanding of karma and emptiness, you think that the goodnesses of self existed. And so you get addicted to them. So it's important to actually get a reality check and revisit the reality check as jet fuel to propel you out properly. Because when beautiful experiences come, to enjoy them normally isn't practice. Practice is, you produce them. They turn you on deeply. But you know that they are empty of having an existence separate from your courses, your karma. Deeply different to, I'm enjoying my ice cream. Yeah? So understanding that whole thing is fuel for the next two phases. But we haven't finished the first one. The very basic one is, the very basic level qualifies you to be a practitioner of the lesser scope, is you want to not have a crappy rebirth. Yeah? You don't want to have, whatever happens next, we don't want it to be worse. Yeah? It's not about getting a better life this time. That's not even in the game. Yeah? The beginning of this is what happens to me after this whole existence is done. Methods of achieving higher rebirth in the next life. So there's a whole practice of refuge and thinking of the refuge. I talked a little bit about refuge. I want to make sure I cover everything. And so then lastly it said there, remember, things will follow as certain as my shadow. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And after I have died, the things that I've done, the white and the black, and what these deeds will bring to me follow always close behind as certain as my shadow. Then is the teaching we covered on karma and the laws of karma, which is definite. What does it mean? Fixed or definite? What does it mean?
Good produces good.
Good produces good. Bad produces life. Yeah, that's in itself profound. My fail on practicing these things is, you think I'm practicing, I sit there, I'll do the outer activity, but my mind is labeling it all. Oh, look at that, you ass, you didn't do that properly, oh, you didn't do that properly, and you didn't do that properly. And my mind is sneaking in this old habit, which is the thing, that's self-judging and self-deprecating, and you're an idiot, and you don't know anything, and over all this really beautiful effort. So of course I'm going to get a result from the beautiful effort, but I'm also getting a result from that thing. Everything we're planting, until we get to a certain level of understanding, of deep understanding, is black and white. Karma is mixed. So,
what about the things you're planting that you're absolutely not aware of?
That everything you're planting, every 65 times as finger snap, 65 movements of the mind, you are producing seeds, you're creating seeds for your future experience. Purposely or unpurposely. You're creating karmas. Your subtle impulses at the very core of like and don't like. Moving towards something because it'll fix it, moving away from something because it'll fix it. Ignorantly. Yeah? If I get enough drink, if I get enough partner, if I get enough job, if I get enough cut, if I get enough anything. And then all the, I want that, I don't want that, I want that, I don't want that, I want that, I don't want that. Such. All of that produces result. That is horrifyingly liberating. Because if that's true, then knowing exactly how to train your mind to produce just the right things can very quickly shift your whole experience. I'm going to ask you quite honestly, who in the room has had an experience, a match against the matchbox, where you thought you were doing something, you were having a kind of experience, and 1 millisecond of information, maybe it was a word from someone that explained something you didn't understand before. You were thinking about something this way, and then someone said, no, I meant that. And all of a sudden, the entire thing shifted, and it was a goodness. It was a, oh my God. It was an amazing thing. Who's had that? Yeah? So that's what we're talking about. On steroids. And on purpose. Yeah? So at the end there, karma speaks, karma expands. If you've done something, you're going to get the result. If you haven't done something, you're not going to get the result. Yeah, I like that one. I used to like that one. I'm like, yeah, if I haven't done something, I'm not getting the result. Like, I'm thick, right? What that means is whatever is happening to you, you cannot complain. Whatever, not this and not that. Outer and inner.
You cannot control.
If you've planted the karma, you're having the experience. If you haven't planted the karma, you're not having the experience. Therefore, the experience is caused by something similar, not as big, not as dirty, not as good, not as great as what you're experiencing. You did that flavor of thing. And at the nominal level, the first way I understood this was towards some of my enemies, actually. It was about, for me, seeing that they were being sneaky, evil sneaky, meant that I must understand what evil sneaky meant. Without that frame of reference, I can't label it sneaky. At the very basic, it's not even Dharma level, it's just at the very basic thing. Anything we label, we must understand. It's in. My dad going, people are snooping around. Things. You know?
Just understanding doesn't mean that you have the same impulses.
What do you mean?
Like, if you understand what it means to be.
Where do you understand it from?
But it's like because you have all these human relationships and you're experiencing, you're witnessing things, doesn't mean, knowing what Hitler did does not mean that I'm capable of doing something.
Identifying with it and wishing you were doing it is a different thing, but the fact that you can identify it, it's experienced in you. It's in you. It's not out there. Like, where are you feeling all the Hitler conversations? All the Hitler disgust? Where are you feeling that? Where are you responding to that? Where is all the disgust? Where?
So if somebody is not capable of understanding that means that they're just
Some people just were nowhere near that whole thing. Some people are living in the world right now, don't even know that thing exists. For them, for their whole world, which is the only world they have, that's not a true thing. It doesn't even exist. It's lots of thinking. Like, let's just take one of the 4 laws of karma. You can have a life on it. And layer upon layer upon layer. But what we're saying is, this whole graduated path, one level of understanding will lead you to the other. These are great questions. You must ask them as Westerners. Because believing it, just because it's a good idea, is like playing the lottery, sort of, you know? So good, keep asking those questions. But the way you ask it, the flavor with which you ask it is the flavor in which you experience the result. So I'm going to use the answer to give you the answer. Grant me then ever to be careful to stop the slightest wrongs of many wrongs we do, and to carry out instead each and every good of the many that we may. So that was to complete that whole section, yeah, of thinking, meditating, what to do with this human life shared with the people of lesser capacity. I'm going to take 15 minutes over on the last class, and I hope you stay. Yeah, and I don't get offended if you leave, but I'll just look at you funny later. Yeah, it'd be like. So here comes the training in the mind of the steps on the path shared with the people with a medium scope or medium capacity. And this is like the hope to, okay, I think I want to fix this stuff, let me get me to nirvana, get thee to a nunnery. Bless me to perceive all that's wrong with the seemingly good things of this life. I can never get enough of them. Think about that. Yeah, all the good things you get, you just want more. All the things you get, all the great things we get to be human. So why even bother coming back as a human, is what they're saying. Yeah? Every single goodness you get here, you just want more. Even if you get everything you want. Yeah? Here we go. With the seemingly good things of this life. I can never get enough of them. They cannot be trusted. They are the door to every pain I have. Grant me then to strive instead for the happiness of freedom. So this is free from that cyclic samsaric existence. Get me to nirvana. Yeah? So you develop the wish to achieve nirvana, and then you establish, well, how do I get there? The path to nirvana. So that's all in your text and in your readings. The next verse goes, I'm going to speed. Grant that these pure thoughts may lead me to be watchful and to recall what I should be doing. And this is about going against the current of this existence. This existence is upside down. So if you want it right way up, you have to go in reverse. Grant me that these pure thoughts may lead me to be watchful and recall what I should be doing. How to do a correct action. So when someone's yelling at you, what do you do? Do you think that it's coming from them? When you're having a pleasurable experience, what do you do internal? Where's your understanding? Where did that come from? Yeah, thinking the old way will just lead you the old result. Thinking a new way will give you a new result. Experiencing a new way will give you a new result. And grant me to give the greatest care to make the vows of morality the essence of my practice. They are the door to the Buddhist teachings. So then you contemplate, if you haven't got, so it says there that morality is the key, right? So there's a whole teaching on that, and at the very minimum, look at the 10 virtues as, look at the 10 virtues or the 10 non-virtues, which are shared with every human. Like it's even in most countries, it's part of law. So we recognize there's something about these things. What I'd like to invite you to, if these attitudes of mind, the negative side, which is I vow not to do those things, which is different to just not doing those things, yeah, and the positive side, which is I pledge to do those things. See the difference of a vow and a pledge? And again, there's a difference between just not lying and vowing not to lie, and then pledging to tell the truth. Yeah, there's a very big difference, because there's something in us that records and understands that if you've made this promise, whenever that opportunity arises, you are supercharged towards that thing. which means that the karma planted is on steroids. The power of a vow, I'd never understood it initially, because I grew up Catholic and I thought the vow is something I have to do because the bloody priest wanted me to do something. You know, the power of a vow, it is your ticket to freedom, if you understand them.
It is your what?
Ticket to freedom, yeah? In all the senses of those words. So, if you haven't figured that out just yet, that coming back as a human isn't great, might be okay for practice. If you haven't figured that out yet, they'll give you a few reminders by contemplating on the 8 sufferings, which are listed in there. You know, which you're forced to get born and get old, and etc., etc. And then the mental afflictions, the list of the mental afflictions. What was that? I missed it.
Twins out there.
Huh?
You have a twin.
Time delay.
What?
They're playing the broadcast.
They're playing the broadcast? And so, so then you go, okay, so if I haven't figured out that just being human isn't really it's just going to get me more of the same sufferings I've got here. And if you've forgotten, they've given you a couple of lists to remind yourselves, the mental afflictions. And what was the one before I just covered? Huh?
The 10 virtues and non-virtues?
Yes, good, thank you. Just watching if you were listening. How to get out of something. So how to get out of that, yeah? And this is the 3 trainings. What are those? Training in? These are the 3 trainings on morality. First, on concentration and wisdom. Yeah, those 3 trainings. So that's how you get out of samsara, according to this text.
Is that for middle?
This is for the middle scope. Excellent. Cool. We're all on, right? So lesser scope, we got it, we don't want to be lesser things, and here's all these practices you can do to remind yourself why. Middle scope, we don't want to be just going to nirvana, or we want to just achieve nirvana, yeah? And to not come back as humans, these are all the things we should remember. And how do we get there? Well, perfecting or practicing the 3 trainings. Training of morality, training concentration, training of wisdom. And then we come to the training of the mind shared with the person of the greater scope, which is in fact the track of Tibetan Buddhism that we happen to land in, that our teachers happen to be of that gene pool. So what it means here is that the other 2 levels we must also have. Not this is separate to those, okay? So ours is better. And so you want to develop the wish not just to get out of samsara and reach nirvana for your own sake to stop your suffering, but you very rapidly, there's something that you can start developing now to look at other people in the eye and say, why am I different to them? If I'm hurting, they must be hurting. If I want freedom, they must want freedom. So then there's this wish that you get in your heart that says, I want to figure it out. I want to devote my time and energy to a path that gets me free of the stuff that will just turn to crap for everybody else. And they don't even know it, mostly. They're pretending not to know it, at least. They want to sniff wine. Yeah? So let me help them get some nominal happinesses, but ultimately you want to turn on this wish so you can figure it out for the sake of when they come to the boundaries of hurt, of being human, that you can help them. When they call out, that you can help them. You know, it's nice coming in springtime, walking through Manhattan. Everybody's distracted on something. They're talking on their phone, they're giggling, they're eating kebabs. Yeah. You know, and then every now and then you'll see one thing. I don't know if it happens for you, but most people are like zombies doing their thing, me included. Yeah. And then one person will pop out of the crowd yelling at somebody on the phone, and you see them, and everybody has done that. And everybody comes to that, and it's so destructive and so hurtful. And those episodes are just under the surface for everybody that's walking around zombied. And then somebody cries, and then somebody's upset, and then they come to the bumps, and their legs don't work, and then they're housebound, and their eyes don't work. And gradually, those people, in, and by, see, froth them away. So there's something that turns on in you that says, that's coming for everybody. I can either look after myself, or I can look after myself for the sake of figuring out for them too. And then you attach, you'll find those people in your life that help you step into that. So that verse says, I have slipped and fallen into the sea of suffering life. Bless me to see that every living being, everyone my own mother, has fallen into. Grant me then to practice this highest wish for enlightenment, to take on myself the task of freeing them all. That scared the crap out of me. I can't even figure it out for me, I've got to do it for everyone else. Yeah? But it's step by step by step. Compassion is available to you and is actually the only medicine. It's the only medicine to anything. If you've ever had a moment of true love and compassion for a person that you might not have known before, just look at them and you see something connects with you. You know that's the only medicine. Nothing can get you at that moment. And then we recoil a little bit. It's like that's really uncomfortable to actually feel what it's like to be connected to everybody. Because it's a big world and there's lots of emotions trembling through all these creatures on this planet, 7 billion humans and the rest. But it is possible to see yourself connected to them deeply and strive equally for their happiness as precious as you seek yours. And if you just get a touch of that, it's enough fuel to flip over to the positive side. Yeah, you need the jet fuel of the negative. Then you begin to step into the jet fuel of the most beautiful source of things. It's love. And it's a deep, deep, deep love. Yeah.
Is that achieved through meditation, like compassion meditation, or is it more through wisdom, or is it both?
Yeah, we'll get to it towards the end, but it's both really. I mean, everything. There's one school of thought that says there's nothing that you don't progress in your spiritual path that's not on the cushion, because at first you have to have that either seed or experience. That's certainly true for ultimate nature or seeing emptiness directly. Yeah, you must have that on the cushion. And there's two schools of thought. One says everything's on the cushion, and then how do you grow that and practice it? It's just life. It's just connecting. You have a realization, you go out and try it with a person, and you see the results, which fuels the meditation, which fuels the result. So then there's two practices, I'm sure we're getting to them, that we've been taught. One is the sevenfold practice by a teacher. Yeah? The 7 ways to see other beings as your mother. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And the other one is to develop exchanging yourself for other, which is Tonglen. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Excellent. So they're the two methods to which to develop that wish. And then every practice you do, everything that you do now is of the greater scope. Yeah? Next part. I've only got 2 more pages, I won't be long. Bless me to see clearly that the wish itself is not enough. For if I'm not well trained in the 3 moralities, I cannot become a Buddha. Grant me then a fierce resolve to master the vows of the children of the victors. So here, what are the 3 moralities? What are they referring to? I'm going to invite you to look it up in your reading, okay? For 2 reasons. I'm pretending that I remember, but I don't. And I actually think it's, when they say moralities, it's not usually the way that it's used. I think they're talking about the 3 types of vows, right?
So this is not the morality that's related to the Veda stuff.
This is the, no, this is, no. So then, how do you train in that? You train in the 6 perfections that come from the Bodhisattva Charavatara, the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life by Master Shantideva. Yeah, you can come to the Thursday class with John Stilwell.
Tuesday.
Your Tuesday class, that's mine, Thursday. We're going to start with tea, or you can come on Saturday with Geshe Tashi Dorje. Yeah? And you get an essence of the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. Yeah? But the 6 perfections in essence, and honestly, I was immersed in this training in the late 90s for maybe 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years maybe. Then I went and and then I was exiled. I was in Australia all on my own. Partly great because I could screw up without feeling somebody was watching. Partly bad because I was very lonely as a practitioner, and I didn't know. Imagine you only have 2 years and then no one teaches you again. And you can't go to a Dharma center because they're all thinking crystals are nice. They're like, huh?
Did they have computers?
No computers back then. I'm an old person. We had facsimiles. Geshe Michael taken faxed me stuff from the rituals. Honest, yeah.
Online's wonderful for when you're like someplace and there's no Dharma people around, you know.
Yeah, no, I went to many centers and they didn't sound like the one person that I met that made sense. Who nobody else explained that meditating on nothing was a waste of time and gave me logical proof. Nobody else explained that emptiness didn't mean nothing matters. Blankness, darkness, wrong, fail. Once you understand, once you get a real understanding, it umbrellas over any other bullshit that you could have had. And then there's a lot of Dharma centers that don't know how to practice these things. They get a word, an idea, and I met lots of people like that. I went searching. Yeah, it was frightening. It was frightening, and it brought my arrogance to surface. I know what emptiness is. Sorry, teacher, that's not correct. But I couldn't back it up, which made me want to practice. So imagine you only have a couple of these courses and then goodbye. You're on your own. And I was fortunate enough to have studied the Bodhisattva Charavatara as the main thing I studied, the main thing I committed to memory, and it's the main thing that you need to do to transform into a Buddha, these 6 perfections. Yeah? And so, because of time I won't cover them, but they're in your handout. And then the final 2 perfections, bless me, are the things you actually have to revisit. That's shamatha and vipassana, which is concentration on wisdom. Grant that I may quickly gain the path where quietude and insight join together, one which quiets the mind from being distracted to wrong objects, the other which analyzes the perfect meaning in the correct way. So here it's talking about perfect concentration upon the highest object. Look at your reading. And here is the line. You flip into the secret world. So once you've practiced this properly, and properly means honestly, genuinely, carefully, wholeheartedly, okay with screw ups so long as you're learning them, catching the mind. Yeah, trying to do its same old play on the new content, because that's what it wants to do. That's the inertia you came with. Yeah. So for me it was that, you're an idiot, look at you, you're fat, you're a fat practitioner. Yeah. So then things shift a little, and please pay extra attention to this beautiful point. Grant that once I've practiced well, the path shared, and become a vessel that is worthy, I enter with perfect ease the way of the diamond, highest of all ways, holiest door, to come inside for the fortunate and the good. So vessel that is worthy means you understand the Lam Rim. Vessel that is worthy means you've made genuine efforts in the 3 levels of practitioner, that you understand the things we've covered up to here, to whatever level you can, and then things will turn on. And bless me, you see, it says bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. That just means to that thing, to that teacher, those beings that are already in your life, channeling this thing for you, yeah, being that mirror for you of this highest teaching. You are asking that thing to please give you greater capacity to understand these things. That's what bless me means. It's not I anoint you, yeah? It means whatever it is that's preventing me, just get me a little bit more understanding. Bless me. Meaning that thing in you already, that teacher that you experience, it's externalized, right? But you're observing it. It's from you. It's in your mind. Please bless me to get bigger, understand. Bless me to know with genuine certainty that when I've entered thus, the course that gives me both the attainments is keeping my pledges and vows most pure. Grant me then to always keep them, even if it costs me my life. So there's certain empowerments that you get from teachers in the secret way, and when you meet them, you'll understand. And again, it's secret because it's self-kept secret, meaning it doesn't mean anything to go and read a book or seek this understanding without you having the internalized experiences that labels upon them forcefully bliss and wisdom. They are turned on in you because of your deliberate planting of certain things, and then you see this happening. That's when you see all the teachers with matches, and then you want to be made of straw. Bless me next to realize precisely the crucial points of both the stages, the essence of the secret ways. Grant me then to practice as the Holy One has spoken, putting all my effort and never leaving off the practice of the 4 times highest that there is. And that finishes the middle section. This starts the 3rd section, which is just 1 paragraph. The 3rd section was requesting that you're able to find those conditions which help you succeed in the path. Yeah. This is bless me and grant me that the spiritual guide who shows me this good road and all my true companions in this quest live long and fruitful lives. Bless me and grant me that the rain of obstacles, things within me and outside of me that could stop me now, stop and end forever. And then the last section. In all my lives may I never live apart from my perfect lamas. May I bask in the glory of the Dharma. May I fulfill perfectly every good quality of every level and path, and quickly reach a place where I myself become the keeper of the diamond. The last section you got there is probably one of the most precious things you could ever have. So meditating upon these things, having these ideas which are now inside of your mind. Yeah. We have 2 traditions. The teaching, the lung of this comes from all the way back through Geshe Michael Roach and Ken Rinpoche and Trijang Rinpoche and the rest, Pabonka Rinpoche. All these beings have internalized these things and passed them down, and then through their words explaining what they mean, people get to understand them and practice them and have realizations. You now have the seeds, both practical, in English, understandable seeds of the entire path from having a suffering life to being completely free and seeing how you can free other living beings. And all you have to do is practice. And I can't think of a better thing to do. Now, practice is not separate to everything you do every day. The cushion is just the habituation of the mindset that you must have when you're either flushing the toilet, talking to your mum, seeing somebody on the subway. You're doing the same activity. Your mind is different. And that's how you transform the world. So I wish upon you a rain, a shower, a thunderstorm, a deluge of realizations. And I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share these things with you. I hope they turn on as soon as possible for you and all the people you love, for now and for all time.
You too.
Thank you.
Please stay, please stay, please stay.
No, my pleasure. Please come next Thursday with Pete and cheat. Yeah. Now, dedicate the entire Lamrim, practice it. By the way, practicing means, here's the instruction, practicing means memorize each text and then review the other side of the text to say, oh, that's the steps. And then if you need to go into your notes to go, oh, what were the 10 qualities of a Lama? Or then you can look at your notes. But you've got the skeleton and the skin on the skeleton in one page. Yeah.
Sashi
Ukir Jishin Metotram Riradin Shin Yampadi Sangha Shindu Mitevadi Drokun Nanda Shinla Jupasho Idam Guru Ratnamanda Kamyatayami
Kewa
Digidamokun Sunam Yeshe Soksokshim Sunam Yeshe Lejumwe Rampakuni Dobasho.
And remember the teacher at the crown of your head. Make them even smaller and invite them to enter the crown of your head and bless your entire body, lowering down to the level of your heart, where you keep them permanently there, projecting into your outer world every perfection that you need. Thank you, please. Thank you, love you too. Thank you.
Can we go with you?
Yeah, let's go to Argentina. Ándale, 5 de Mayo.
So there are only a couple of copies of this. If you want, I can email it to you right now. I have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, please let me know.
Email it to Kat, right, and she can send it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll email it to you right now.
If you don't have your email in the class list, let's update it. Yeah, it's up here.
No, I'm just saying,
ACIdharma.org has all the teachings and downloads.
And also, if anybody needs an invite for Wednesday, come and see me so I can send it to you.
Thank you, people. Love somebody with all this stuff. Yeah.
I got you right in the heart.
You did.
Yeah.
Hi, Erin.
Anyone?
Is that you?
Yep.
I already have you.
Better. This is going away soon.
Who has the class list email? Who's in charge of that? You are?
Yes, great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, keep doing that. Pass it along. So, yeah. Excellent. Hey! Hooray!
How are you doing?
Busy. But I'm good.
And we'll see you as soon as you come back.
You got everything under control?
Today I have been doing very bad, but it's gonna be fun. Yeah. Today has been a very weird day. Since the very beginning, like I opened my eyes and everything was like, wow. But it's fun. So I'm too late. So
dedicate whatever nice things you did.
storage you can download.
Practice, meditate, do good to people. Yeah, he's going to be there in the middle of the practice. I'm not. I have a conference in Denver with my job, which I'm going to quit. Don't do it. I want to quit. No, I want to quit because I want to do more of this. I've got some projects I haven't been able to do. Yeah, would you? Heather, I've seen you, Heather. So you don't have to cheat next week? Thank you for doing that. Oh, that's you know that, right? So I'm happy to be the vessel. Please take that. Yeah. My pleasure. Practice well for the next month. Yeah. I'll see you in a month. Yeah. Nice. Hey, I want to know what that is. Can I read it on the way home? That must be the photos. That in there. Would you be kind enough to take some flowers with me? It's not that. Okay, Nina, can I ask you a question? How are you doing? I see the face. People are doing something this week that people are learning. Oh, not bad. Is it tax week? I need someone to manage other people to put together a ACI call. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Channel. I'm not YouTube channel. I made the Ustream channel. I made the event under today. Made the event under Facebook. So there are 3 rules. Let's go for Hector Marcel. We need to make sure that Rituals puts it on their schedule. Make sure that the brochure that I've asked G to make, she's going to make it this weekend. That brochure gets sent out to people.
Yeah, email?
Yeah. So the old email of the ACI, the emails or whatever, whatever it is. So I just need someone to organise it until we start the class, and then after class, I'm going to ask the volunteers who want to be there.
Perfect. I get it back.
So that
Oh my gosh, I know.
G sends it to me, I'll send it to you. Yeah?
So that's one thing,
And then you just got to coordinate with the 3 jewels to make sure that on the schedule, Thursday, May 17th, and every Thursday thereafter, there's 1 long weekend, so you have to go 13 weeks. Yeah? Like actually put it in their schedule. Advertise it, however they advertise it, whatever.
I could do that first because I'm gonna email the guy about the
one way.
yeah, so I can email him the doctor. I got this.
Oh no, he doesn't. He's not about coding. This is something John's son does, which is just the schedule of 3 jewels.
I can do that quickly.
Oh.
Talk to John every day.
So you don't have to do it. Okay, I'll give it to you then.
I talked to John.
I finished and waited every single page to the very and you know what, I read my calendar of the day.
Good, how are you?
La mente que quiere decir es triste.
Wait, what's your what time? From 7 to 9. I'm putting these right here. I need a glove, I need a suit. Believe it or not, those are pants. I love it. I love that they're black with print, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like when I saw those other brands, I'm like, are those mine? Oh, okay, so, I'm gonna go to Saturday. Yeah, okay. Let's just,
Diferente que no, porque la mente te va a tratar de hacer no.
do a lot of, you know,
It's too
See if I can reschedule.
At some point, you start practicing.
Personal training. But usually I always train somebody on Wednesday evening, but sometimes weekends to Tuesday, so maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
And then eventually
I
have you been reading? Whoever has
This is actually another one too.
Hey,
forgot to stop the broadcast.